Thank you, Sony, for ruining my series. I was supposed to upload one video a week, but since you guys are pushing out with new lenses every week, in this case 3 new lenses, I gotta make this video because my friends are asking me, Mike, have you seen this lens? Mike, what do you think about this lens? Mike, are you gonna buy this lens? Since I love my friends, I'll make this video today and upload it today, hopefully. Unfortunately, I don't have the lenses with me today, obviously, because I'm just a scrub YouTuber with low subscriber count. Only those higher up YouTubers have it. So please subscribe, give me a like, comment, you know the drill. But I did my research. When this thing got announced officially, every YouTuber's posted their YouTube videos. And what did I do? I watched every single one of them. Just for you guys, so you guys don't have to waste your time. But if you really want to watch it, go watch Gerald Undun's video, then you're done for the day. Anyway, a quick spec recap, I guess, just for those of you who doesn't know what came out. So Sony actually came out with a G series prime lens, which is the 24mm 2.8, 40mm 2.5, and 50mm 2.5, each of them costing $600 a pop. And they're all weather sealed. They have linear focus motor inside. Also, they all have same filter thread size, which is 49mm. Most importantly, they are very tiny. That was the main focus of these lenses. I can super quickly recap what all these videos were saying. Autofocus, obviously Sony has it down. Autofocus, super fast, snappy, locks on, good, smooth, just great, period. For image quality, they're good. They're not as GM good, but they are still great. And it is more consistently sharp throughout the frame instead of just sharp in the middle. The build quality is very nice, and they're very light with a small form factor. And that's basically what the main thing was. And one thing to note, the 24mm, it had a very noticeable distortion. So if that's gonna bother you, then probably you should look elsewhere. So let me talk about each lens just in general. For 24mm 2.8, I did have the 24mm GM, which is 1.4, which I sold like 2 weeks ago. But in my opinion, if you have the budget, 24mm 1.4 GM is the way to go, obviously, because the form factor is not any much bigger than the ones that are coming out now, but it has a superior, super sharp image quality. But if the budget's an issue and you don't want to get this one because it has distortion, you should look into the Sigma 24mm 3.5, which is a little slower than the Sony one, but it is also $50 a little cheaper. And autofocus wise, it has a really good autofocus. Sony wins by a hair, but it's still, Sigma has a good autofocus on this 24mm 3.5. For 40mm 2.5, it's a very odd focal length for me. I'll rather keep or buy the 35mm, and because of that, I'll pay $100 extra to get the 35mm 1.8 by Sony, which is another awesome lens in the lineup. My boss has it, I tried it. He even has a sticker labeled GM in white, and he calls it the white label GM. But I think it's a pretty good choice to go with the 35mm 1.8 because it's still super small form factor and its focus is really nice. And it's also 1.8 compared to 2.5, you know, depending on where you're gonna shoot it, how you're gonna shoot it. And 50mm 2.5, this is a very tricky thing. It will divide into two. If you're just shooting photos, I could recommend you the 50mm 1.8, the kit lens, because obviously that is way cheaper, which is around $200, and it autofocuses pretty decently fast for photos. I think I made a video on autofocus with the 50mm 1.8. I'll probably link it here or something. I think I did. So that's a great buy, but it's not suitable for video because it does have a lot of focus breathing with the 50mm 1.8. I personally have the 50mm 1.8 Zeiss version, which is still pretty small form factor, and it focuses super quick and it's very sharp. So I'll probably keep that instead of the 50mm 2.5. So what do I think about these lenses that came out in general? I think it's a little bit more videography oriented in my opinion, because it's very small and it's very light, because I think having a light setup on videography is pretty good advantage to have, because if your setup is heavy, you have to start looking for gears that can take these heavyweight stuff, and that costs additional money. I think it's Sony trying to make it into a more smaller, compact form factor. You can see it by them coming out with the Sony a7C and FX3 being such a small form factor. Plus with these lenses, it's basically no weight compared to old days. And also because these three lenses has a linear motor, which helps you do focus pulling when you're in manual focus, I think it's a little bit more towards videography in my opinion. Also, the focus ring has teeth grip. Is that what you call it? I don't know. But if you wanted to use it with photos, I think it's great. It could be still great street photography lens where it's pretty small, so it's discreet, and it's weather sealed, so you can be taking it around into any kind of a weather condition. So that's my thoughts on the new lens. It kind of confuses me now after looking at all these lenses, because it seems like Sony is going into a smaller form factor, but I don't know how that's going to be affecting the APS-C market for Sony. I believe people are using APS-C for two main reasons, because one's cheaper, second is the form factor, but now the form factor is out of the question. Now it's only going to be the price. And for me, I don't know about other people, I will rather save of money to get the full frame. Nothing wrong with the APS-C. I do own an APS-C because of the size convenience. If Sony keeps making it smaller and smaller, I don't know what's actually gonna happen to the APS-C line. Why do I care? I don't care. I don't really know what's gonna happen to the series now. Thank you, Sony. You ruined it. Now I can't name my series Sony Talk Sunday or Sunday Sony Talk or whatever. Goodbye.